Okay, everyone, I've just hit go live on our live stream. I haven't got the confirmation from Facebook that we are live yet, so we're just going to wait a moment. Oh, I have a confirmation. We are now live. Exciting stuff. We are here today to discuss the latest Express Entry draw results. The latest Express Entry draw just happened a couple of minutes ago. I am joined again today by the wonderful Deanne Akers-Lons, Canadian immigration consultant and founder of Canada Abroad, a consultancy based in Ottawa. So, Deanne, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing out in Ottawa?
Doing well. Yeah, good. It's nice and sunny here today. How are you guys doing over in Nova Scotia?
It's extremely rainy. I'm looking outside and I've got just sheets and sheets of rain coming down in Nova Scotia. So yeah, it's not the greatest weather, but I mean we have some good Express Entry news that came out today, or at least some interesting Express Entry news. So I am excited about that at least. Um, and we
Yes.
are going to wait just a moment for some folks to hop into the live stream so that we can get the word out to as many people as possible. But what's stuff like the in Ottawa with COVID right now? I've been kind of following it, and it doesn't look like it's totally great in Ottawa.
No, we've become one of the hot spots and our numbers have gone up. So they've actually put us back to sort of a modified stage two. So we've gone backwards now. It's us, Toronto, and I forget the third city in Ontario. But so no more indoor dining. Theaters are closed. Casinos, which I don't know why they're open in the first place, but it's had a slight impact, but schools are still
Okay.
open. People are still playing hockey and other sports, so just a slight reduction. But our numbers are up, so they are really keeping an eye on it right
Okay.
now.
Well, I mean, that there are reasons to be optimistic, I guess. And for all of our viewers out there who aren't in Canada and haven't been following the COVID news in Canada extensively, like I think most of us have, Canada was faring really well, but there have been some flare ups and a sort of second wave happening. But like you just mentioned, Deanne, a lot of the response appears to be a sort of regional response. So
Yes.
rather than this big federal lockdown of everything everywhere, you see like a hotspot pop up, and then the government is like, okay, we're going to close some things down here and try to nail that down without impeding too much on the daily lives of individuals. So hope.
Yeah, they're being reasonable with it, so not as many businesses either are going to be affected. So it's just good to see that they're doing it in that way, and that they're doing anything about it when a hot is sharing.
Yeah. And we've got already some people asking questions. So we're about to launch into the Express Entry draw results from this week's draw. But if you do have questions, like M. Ramen, who just wrote in, drop your questions in the comments. We'll try to answer a couple of the questions here in just a few minutes. But I'm going to pull up our Express Entry draw results page here on the Moving to Canada website. So just give me one sec here. And we will hop into our Express Entry draw results and analysis. I'm just going to reintroduce you for anybody who missed the beginning of the live stream. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Deanne Akers-Lons, a Canadian immigration consultant, founder of Canada Abroad, a consultancy based in Ottawa, Canada's capital region. And Deanne is joining me today to talk through the latest Express Entry draw results and analysis. So I've got the draw results page on the Moving to Canada website pulled up here. Deanne, can you tell our viewers how many invitations to apply were issued in today's draw?
Well, today was record breaking in the sense that 4,500 invitations to apply were issued, and this is the highest number ever. I mean, there was one draw previously with the same number, but it's never been higher than this. So that was great news to see that they are really going ahead with immigration. COVID's not stopping it, and they're still selecting people higher than ever.
Yeah, and despite the high number of invitations this week, I've already seen some people complaining in the comments on social media, which is understandable. I mean, it's
Oh
frustrating
yeah.
about the CRS score cutoff. Can you tell our viewers what has happened with the cutoff this week?
Yes, so even though they increased the number of invitations to apply this this week, the CRS score did not go down. It remained at 471, the same as the last draw. So that was a little bit disappointing because typically, if they are increasing the number of invitations to apply, we would see that score go down
Hmm.
slightly. And we had seen it going down over the last few draws, but unfortunately today it's stuck. It's remaining the same.
Yeah, and I'll pull up for the viewers just our table of the recent draw results so you can see that trend going back from the beginning of September. It was up at 475, 472, 471, and now it's stuck at 471. And there are a couple possible reasons why that might happen. I think probably the most likely is that's the area where we have a lot of competitive candidates entering the pool on a regular basis. And maybe now things are opened up. People are able to take language tests, get their ECA reports in a perhaps a more timely manner than they have been recently. I'm not sure, Deanne, you work directly with people who are obtaining these documents. Have you seen maybe an increase in the processing time for language tests or ECAs or anything in the past couple weeks?
Yeah, so a few countries where language tests were not available, basically between March up until September, they started to reopen again. So some people who weren't able to get language tests finally were able to get those and they could go ahead and enter the express entry system. So we've seen that have an effect. And then ECAs, universities were closed in certain countries. You couldn't get anything out, but those have also started to open up. So people's documents are starting to come out slowly. So a lot more people are able to enter the express entry system who weren't basically between March and up until now. So there was that large gap, and now we're seeing an influx of people again coming back into the system. So it's definitely, I think, having an effect. And the other thing is it could be provincial nominations. I'm not sure
Okay.
on the statistics, but if we see a large portion of people coming in above 471, it could be just that provincial nominations from a few provinces were handed out or processed, and people have those 600 extra points. There's going to be, a little bit of a fluctuation with that as well.
That makes a lot of sense. I had not thought of that. And for our viewers, I've pulled up our table with the distribution of candidates based on their CRS score in the pool. And you'll see, I noticed when I was completing this table this week that we've had both in the 451 to 460 range as well as in the 461 to 470 range. We've now got more than 10,000 candidates in the pool in each of those ranges. So I mean, that means there's a lot of candidates to get through to get to those lower numbers. But optimistically, 4,500 ITAs, it only really takes, two draws to knock off most of the people in that 10,000 range. So it really depends on how many people are still entering the pool. And I'm hoping that answered the question that M. Raman wrote into us right at the beginning of the live stream, saying many people thought it would come down to 470. What happened? What happened this week?
Yeah.
I'm just going to scroll through and see if we got another question or two we can answer just before we get through this. So we got some general questions here about PNPs, about other immigration streams. If you do have questions about how to immigrate to Canada, check out the Moving to Canada website that I've got pulled open here. We've got tons of resources about all of Canada's different provincial nominee programs for all of the provinces. You can see that all here, all of the different immigration pathways. But, if you are sort of struggling or if you're looking for some professional guidance, working with a Canadian immigration consultant like yourself, Deanne, can be a really great place to start. I'm just going to pull open the Canada Abroad page here on the Moving to Canada website. You can also access this in the link in the description of this video. So this is Deanne's consultancy. You can read through this page, see what you have to offer, and you can get a free assessment here. You can book a one-on-one consultation. And Deanne, what sort of things are you able to address with that one-on-one consultation?
Quite a variety of things. So for people who maybe are just starting out looking at immigrating, we go through all the different options available to them, which programs I'd actually qualify for, and if they stand a good chance. People who already maybe have started the process, they might have a low CRS score. We go through the different provincial programs that they would qualify for, And honestly, what's the odds of them getting that nomination? And if they're not eligible for that, different ways that they can maybe tweak and increase their comprehensive ranking system score. So we can do quite a few different things. And even people who are not looking at express entry, we do all types of immigration applications. So we can assess everything.
Great. Yeah, and there's a whole list of the various services that Canada Abroad offers here. So you can click through to the website and check out more information about each of those services if that is something that interests you. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for today's video. I'm going to quickly go back to our draw page and do a quick recap of the draw results before we end, just for people who might have missed it at the beginning. So we had an express entry draw happen just about an hour ago. It is Wednesday, October 14th. In this draw, 4,500 invitations to apply were issued. That's tied as the highest number of ITAs issued in a single draw in the history of express entry. So it's a really, really big draw. Unfortunately, we didn't see a correlation with the CRS score dropping. It has held steady, exactly the same as it was 2 weeks ago at 471 points. And candidates in all programs were once again considered for this draw. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in to our live stream today. We hope we were able to bring you guys the draw results and the immigration information that you're looking for. Thank you, Deanne. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. Happy we got things working this week. It seems like everything's
Yes.
finally going smooth for us, so that's great. And pending the pattern of draws, hopefully we'll all be back here in about 2 weeks talking about another big express entry draw, and maybe we'll even see the CRS score cutoff fall in that next one.
Hopefully.
Okay, great. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. We will see you next time.